Welcome back for another video. I'm starting off big here because before we get into this, I just want to say I told you so. I have been right on a bunch of different things lately, and it's driving me nuts because it's so funny the call-outs that I'm doing from months ago. From when I started doing YouTube videos, I made a bunch of things being like, this is what I think is going to happen, or this is what needs to happen in 40k and AOS, and I'm being proven right, which I find very funny. So when I first started the channel, I talked about AOS, and I made the video about mortals in AOS, that they're the most interesting part of Age of Sigmar. Again, I like the dwarves, I like the elves, and like all the different factions in it are still interesting to me, but the idea of gods being as powerful based off of the worshippers that they have and that sort of facet of AOS was the most interesting to me. And like the cities of Sigmar, in theory, sound like the best army, the coolest idea, and the models are by far the worst. And there's been some really cool conversions in the White Dwarfs lately. The Tale of Four Warlords, I believe, was the article where the guy has the cities of Sigmar army and he converts dwarves, elves, and men, I believe. But it's kit bashing them so hard and painting them in this interesting style where it's cohesive that I'm like, this is super cool and interesting. But again, the cost of that is through the roof when you're buying a $70 kit just to use the heads, right? Like when you're converting these things nowadays, it gets expensive very quickly. So I'm going to show you this. It is not. So I'm going to show you this. This is the Dawnbringer previews. Peek at the panoply of protection worn by the cities of Sigmar. So again, months ago, models are shit. Models are terrible. We need different models, right? So now it looks like they're actually going through it and they're previewing some of the shields. Like these are shields that humans would obviously have, right? Here's some just planks with some metal they put on it. Maybe there's some knights as well with some squires and stuff. Like it's gonna be so much better. Like even this, right? Just humans. You've got the Sigmar Comet as like a choker edition that he's wearing. Like this is great. The new models that they brought out for Be'lakor as well, the human worshippers that they brought out for Warcry, amazing. Their own different style of leather armor with some like extra metal attachments that they've got as well, right? Where this is more traditional kind of medieval armor, but that's great. That's what the cities of Sigmar should be, right? Here's some shoulder plates. Like these look cool, right? That even kind of looks like a dwarf maybe guard, just because of the angle and the width of it. But again, I could be wrong. It's hard to tell with these pictures if it's super zoomed in or not. But the Dawnbringer Crusades, right? Like using Sigmar in this way, where that's what the mortal followers, whoever you're following, your armor's kind of leaning towards that way, what realm you're from. There's the coolest stories for AOS are always the city stories, where even if it's Gotrek going to the different cities or characters wherever they go, when they get there and there's specialty combat units from that specific city. The locals use poison on their blades because they live in a swamp. Like there's so many different ideas and concepts that are unused in the models. And I say it all of the time. The coolest stuff is in the books, and they kind of just even in the codexes and battle tomes, they'll mention units in a side blurb on a one-off comment. I'm like, where's that unit? Like, what are you doing? You should have made this model, right? And this is a move in the right direction. So I'm excited for this because I feel as though, especially with me, I've gotten into Game of Thrones where I am really enjoying just painting kind of straight humans in armor, right? Where this is a chance to do that, but with the Warhammer twist on it, which is cool, right? Maybe these are some things that I would be interested in getting, right? Like a bunch of the new Warcry stuff, I have been very tempted to get. I'm still trying to work through some stuff before I get any actual models, but it's still, I like all these models. They're still bringing out fantastic models. All the terrain has been spot on lately too. So a lot of cool stuff coming out from Games Workshop, and I hope they continue this trend. Let's keep going with AOS, throw out more human followers, expand on some stuff. Like, for instance, even in this picture, the Blight Kings in the books, I made another YouTube video about that, where in the books, I think they mention 6 individual units that they literally name them, like the Balefire Archers that are Nurgle Squire Archers that use these special poison arrows, right? They literally name the unit, name what they look like, their weapons, and like their special abilities, the whole thing, and you just have to make the model now, right? So over time, maybe we'll get more of those, but so much gets lost in the sauce now that we'll see what happens, but still very excited for this. Let me know in the comments what you think of this preview. Are you excited for Cities of Sigmar, for straight human beings in cool looking Warhammer kind of style armor? I know I am. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps me so much. I'll see you all in the next video. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming. Thanks for watching.